before the lights went out on Broadway, this was one of the hottest tickets in town. Seriously, it was such a good show. The Tina Turner musical may be closed right now along with other shows, but what's next? Here with a look at the future of the Great White Way is Charlotte St. Martin. She's president of the Broadway League. So good morning to you, Charlotte. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine on this rainy day.
It is rainy indeed. So let's talk about Broadway right now because it's on everybody's mind. What was behind the decision to keep Broadway closed all the way through next May?
Well, we said from the very beginning that we could not come back unless we were assured that the cast, crew, and audience would be safe. And we just didn't have enough indicators that there were enough scientific and medical products that would help us make that happen. And this is a time when we needed to let the people who work on Broadway know so that if they have the opportunity to get other work, whether for the actors it's commercials or television shows, or anyone else that works on Broadway,
right,
to give them a chance to earn some income, because a year and 3 months is a long time to be without work, which is what it will be, at least for many of these people.
Right. You think it impacts so many people. Yeah. Obviously, I can't imagine we're not going to see a Broadway show until next summer, possibly. But like you mentioned, safety really is key here. It's the first order here. What are your biggest concerns right now with reopening theaters, and what are the measures you're taking towards a safe reopening?
Well, we are working very closely with infectious disease specialists from the state. We actually hired one who's working with state officials, and we're listening and looking at every potential solution. And we have to have rapid testing that is reliable for the cast and crew, because if you've ever seen a costume change in one of our backstages, there'll be 3 people in the area the size of a phone booth that are making that costume change in 1 minute. There's no way to socially distance them. And for the audience, we can't socially distance, though we certainly can do all of the other things like masks and contactless services and so forth.
Have you ever thought about...
we're looking at every single thing.
Have you ever thought about taking a page, what we saw from the summertime with these drive-in movie theaters, right? A resurgence on restaurants doing outdoor dining, maybe doing outdoor performances. I know it's tough going into the winter time. Or looking at some of what was going on in London, audiences at 25% capacity as well.
Unfortunately, the financial model just does not work at 25% or even 50%. So the last thing we want is to get everybody back, spend the $1.5 to $3 million minimum to get Broadway back, and 3 weeks later have to shut the doors.
So what does that mean for the shows that were set to open, right? Because they really rely on financial backing to get that show to Broadway in the first place if you're not backed by somebody like Disney, right? So what does that mean for any of the new shows?
Well, so far, and I am knocking on wood a lot these days, most of the shows that we're performing or about to perform are still scheduled to come back. And there are even some new shows that are still confirmed to come back. So at this point, we do believe that Broadway will reopen with a large number of the shows that were performing and about to perform. We just hope that this lengthy shutdown doesn't change that. And certainly, if it lasts longer, that those chances may change somewhat. But Broadway will be back, and we are worth the wait.
Charlotte, I'm just curious, what has the reception been for those live streamed broadcasts of these shows?
There've been a couple. The problem with live streaming our shows is the safety of the cast. They would have to do what the NBA just did and live in a bubble and then perform and then continue to live in that bubble. And the cost to do live streaming is the same as making a movie or a television show.
Right.
So again, we get back to that financial model for for our shows. And our goal is to keep people working, not to perform a couple of times and have to shut down.
Understood. Right. Charlotte, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. I miss Broadway. I really do. So hopefully it comes back sooner than later. I do appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.